students, myself Professor Rajendra Gharse, MTech from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I have secured All India 7th rank in the GATE examination. Also, I am having teaching experience of more than 10 years, right? And I am your instructor for the course Power Electronics, right? As long as the GATE examination is considered, the weightage for this course is around 6 to 9 marks, okay? So, let us discuss what is the power electronics, right? And the contents of the course, right? So, first, power electronics, okay? This is as the subject name is a combination of two words. One is a power and second one is a electronics, right? So, as long as electrical engineering is considered, it is divided into three sub areas. One is power system, second one is control system, and third one is electronics. Okay, the area power system deals with study of generation, transmission, and distribution of electrical power. Okay, means the subjects like electrical machines, electrical power systems, the fault analysis of power systems, and the protection of the power systems, right? These subjects comes under the area power system. The second area is a control system. Second area is a control system. The area control system defines the stability of the system and the conditions for the system to be stable, right? And it derives the conditions for the system to be stable, right? Means the subjects you might have studied control system, linear and non-linear, right? This comes under the area control system. And the third area is the electronics. The area electronics is deals with study of semiconducting devices, right? Semiconductor devices, okay? Means the subjects like electronic devices and circuits, okay? Analog and digital integrated circuits, okay? These subjects come under the area electronics, means the devices like diode, transistor, MOSFET, etc., right? These are covered with in the area electronics, right? Next, the course power electronics is nothing but control and conversion of large amount of electrical power, control and conversion of large amount of electrical power with the help of electronics, okay? So here we are going to take the help of electronic devices, okay, and we are going to design the circuitry that controls and converts, okay, large amount of electrical power, okay? That is nothing but the power electronics, okay? Next, let us discuss the course contents. So in this course we are having total 5 chapters. Chapter 1 is a switching devices, okay? So in this chapter we are going to discuss the devices like power diode, silicon controlled rectifier, IGBT, MOSFET, DIAC, TRIAC, GTO, okay? These devices we are going to discuss, right? Their principle of operation, their VI characteristics, turn on methods, turn off methods, okay? We are going to discuss, okay? Next, whatever the devices we have discussed in the chapter 1, okay? So with the help of these devices we are going to design the circuits, right? And we are yes, in the power electronics we are having 4 circuits, okay? First one is a rectifier. The rectifier is a circuitry that converts, yes, AC to DC. Input is AC, output is DC, right? Output is DC. It is a controlled DC. Means input is fixed AC and output is a controlled DC, or it is also known as a variable DC, okay? So here one thing is we are converting from AC to DC. It is like a conversion of power, okay? And at the same time we are controlling it, okay? Means in this circuitry we are going to use the controlled switches. Due to that we can control the output power. The second circuitry is the choppers, right? A chopper is a circuitry that converts fixed DC to variable DC. Fixed DC to variable DC. Input is fixed DC. The output is variable DC. Okay, input is fixed DC. Output is variable DC. The next one is a inverter. Okay, inverter is a circuitry that converts DC to AC. That converts DC to AC. Input is DC. Output is AC, right? Input is DC and output is variable AC or controlled AC. Okay, so controlled AC means we are going to get the variable voltage and variable frequency AC. Okay, next AC voltage controllers. AC voltage controllers. Input is AC and output is also AC. Input is AC and output is variable AC. Input is AC and output is variable AC. Okay, so these are the four circuitries we are going to discuss, and first one is the switching devices. Okay, so as long as the GATE examination is considered, the weightage for the first four chapters is very high. They have asked the large number of questions on the first four chapters. Okay, but the weightage to the chapter number 5 is comparatively very less. Okay, comparatively very less. Hardly they have asked yes 2 to 3 questions so far. Okay, in the GATE examination. Okay, so the first four chapters are very important. Okay, now today we are going to start the first chapter, that is the switching devices, right? Switching devices. Yes, put the heading switching devices. Switching devices. Switching devices. Yes, here the very important term is a switch. Yes, it is a switch. Yes, what do you mean by the switch? Yes, specifically a switch is a element, right? Switch is a element. It performs the two operations, right? One is the on and the off. Okay, so switch is a bistable element, right, which performs two operations. One is a on and second one is a off. Are you getting the point? Switch is a bistable element which performs the two operations, right? It is performing the two operations on and off. That's why it is known as a bistable. That's why it is known as a bistable, right? So now let us discuss ideal switch. Ideal switch. Ideal switch, right? So in the case of ideal switch, when switch is in the on state, when switch is in the on state, switch is in the on state, yes, then what about the current flowing through the circuit? Definitely it should be 0, right? So when switch is in the on state, current flowing through the circuit should be 0 ampere. Sorry, when it is in the on state, then the voltage across the switch, VSW should be equal to 0, right? And second one, when switch is in the off state, when switch is in the off state, then yes, current flowing through the switch should be equal to 0 ampere. So important to note that in the case of ideal switch, when the switch is in the on state, means what? The switch is completely acting as a short circuit. Right? So in the case of short circuit, what is the voltage between the short terminals? Yes, voltage between the short terminals is equal to 0 volt. Second, when the switch is in the off will be acting as an open circuit, right? So what about the current in the open circuit? It should be a 0 ampere. It should be a 0 ampere. Are you getting the point? Okay. So now in the case of ideal switch, yes, what is the power? Yes, power of the switch or the power loss of the switch is equal to power loss when the switch is in on state plus power loss when the switch is in off state. Okay, so what is the power loss? As we know, power is equal to voltage into current, right? So when switch is in the on state, yes, it is voltage across the switch. When switch is in the on state into, yes, current flowing through the switch when switch is in the on state plus voltage across the switch when switch is in the off state into current flowing through the switch when switch is in the off state. Okay, so power during the on state is equal to voltage across the switch during the on state into current flowing through the switch during the on state plus power during the off state means what? Voltage across the switch during the off state into current flowing through the switch during the off state. Okay, but what is the voltage across the switch during the on state? Yes, during on state the voltage across switch is 0. So it is like 0 into current plus voltage across switch during the off state. Definitely it will be non-zero, right? Because voltage across switch is nothing but the voltage across open terminals. But what is the current flowing through the switch during off state? It is equal to 0. Okay, so if you check 0 into non-zero value plus non-zero value into 0, so what is the power? Yes, power consumed by the switch is equal to 0 watt. Very important to note here. In the case of ideal switch, the power consumed by the switch is always 0. In the case of ideal switch, the power consumed by the switch is always 0. Is this clear? Are you getting the point? Right? Next, what about the practical switch? Yes, if you check in the case of practical switch when it is in the on state, whether the on state voltage drop is 0? No. In the case of practical switch, every practical switch causes some voltage drop across it during the on state, right? Strictly speaking, if you check the conventional diodes, right, if the diode is made up of silicon, then what is the voltage drop? It is a 0.7 volt. If it is made of germanium, what is the voltage drop? It is a 0.3. Okay, so it is a non-zero, right? Due to the practical difficulties, right? So we are having the non-zero voltage during the on state and non-zero current during the off state. During the off state, what is the current flowing through the switch? That is nothing but, yes, it is a leakage current. It is nothing but a leakage current. Definitely its value will be very, very small. It will be in the range of microampere, right? But it is a non-zero, right? It is a non-zero. So this is about the ideal switch and the practical switch difference. Are you getting the point, right? So in the case of practical switch, what about the power loss in the case of practical switch? In the case of practical switch, power loss is equal to on state voltage drop into on state current, right? On state voltage drop is non-zero, right? On state current is also non-zero, right? So it is non-zero product plus off state voltage drop, it will be non-zero into off state current. Are you getting the point? Off state current is leakage current. Okay, so that's why the product will be non-zero. Are you getting the point? Some major difference between the ideal switch and the practical switch. In the case of ideal switch, the power loss will be 0. In the case of practical switch, the power loss will be non-zero. Okay, now we are going to discuss, yes, the types of the switches. Types of the switches. Types of switches. So first one, according to or based on controlling of the switch, based on controlling of switch, right? So based on controlling of the switch, yes, based on controlling of the switch, we are having three types of the switches. First one, yes, uncontrolled switch. Uncontrolled switch. Second one, semi-controlled switch. semi controlled switch, and third one fully controlled switch. Fully controlled switch. Okay, so we are having three types. One is the uncontrolled, second one is the semi controlled, and third one is the fully controlled, right? So let us discuss the difference between the three. Okay, so uncontrolled switch, yes, the switch is said to be uncontrolled. The switch is said to be uncontrolled if it's on state and off state. If it's on state and off state cannot be controlled by external signal, cannot be controlled by external signal, but it depends on circuit conditions. But it depends on circuit conditions. Very important. Yes, the switch is said to be uncontrolled if it's on state and off state, right? Cannot be controlled by external signal. Okay, but it depends on the circuit conditions. So for example, let us, yes, suppose diode we are having. Okay, so diode, whether diode is a controlled, uncontrolled or semi-controlled switch, yes, diode is a uncontrolled switch, right? Because when diode is in the forward bias mode, yes, it will directly turn on, okay? And when it is in the reverse bias mode, it will directly turn off, okay? So diode forward bias and diode reverse bias, it depends on the circuit voltage, right? That is the circuit conditions. Are you getting the point? So diode is a example of uncontrolled switch. Next, second one, semi-controlled switch. Semi-controlled switch, right? So the switch is said to be semi-controlled. The switch is said to be semi-controlled if, yes, it's on state or off state. I am saying or, right? It's on state or off state, can be controlled by external signal, means either on state or off state, but not both, right? Can be controlled by external signal. Yes, example of semi-controlled switch, yes, it is a SCR, silicon controlled rectifier. It is an example of, yes, semi-controlled switch. We are going to discuss in detail what is the SCR. Okay, next, fully controlled switch. Yes, the switch is said to be fully controlled if it's on state as well as off state. It's on state as well as off state, can be controlled by external signal, okay? And the examples of fully controlled switch, yes, we are having number of examples. One is a MOSFET, right? BJT, IGBT, etc., right? These are the examples of the fully controlled switch, right? Means the switches where on state as well as off state can be controlled by the external signal, okay? So both the states on and off cannot be controlled by external signal. Either on or off can be controlled by external signal, and on state and off state can be controlled by external signal. Yes, on and off cannot be controlled. On or off can be controlled, on and off can be controlled. Okay, so these are the three types of the switches based on controlling of the switch, right? Next, we are going to discuss second classification based on the polarity of voltage blocked by the switch. Polarity of voltage blocked by the switch. Yes, second classification based on voltage blocked by switch. Based on voltage blocked by a switch. Or polarity of voltage blocked by switch during off state. Okay, So based on voltage blocked by the switch during off state. So here very important, we need to concentrate on the off state of the switch. We need to concentrate on off state of the switch. Are you getting the point? Okay. So here let us consider, we are having the during off state we are having two types. One is a unipolar switch, and second one is a bipolar switch. Unipolar switch and bipolar switch. Okay, they have asked the questions. Okay, so please be careful. So let us discuss what is the unipolar switch. Okay, the switch is said to be unipolar. The switch is said to be unipolar if it blocks either forward voltage or reverse voltage. If it blocks either forward voltage or reverse voltage during its off state. Okay, means during off state the switch is blocking either forward or reverse voltage. Okay, then the switch is said to be bipolar switch. Unipolar switch. Second, bipolar switch. The switch is said to be bipolar if it blocks forward voltage as well as reverse voltage, right? Forward voltage as well as reverse voltage during its off state. Are you getting the point? Okay, so it is blocking forward as well as reverse voltage during off state, and this one, yes, it is blocking forward or reverse voltage during off state. Okay, now let us discuss the static operating points for unipolar switch. Okay, so first unipolar switch. Very important because they have asked the questions on static operating points, right? Unipolar switch. Let us discuss static operating points on VI plane. This is a voltage, this one is a current. Okay, next, this is also for unipolar switch, voltage, current, right? So for the unipolar switch, yes, it blocks either forward voltage or reverse voltage during off state. Okay, so when the switch is in the off state, what is the current flowing through the switch? In the case of ideal switch, what is the current flowing through the switch? When switch is in the off state, the current is 0, right? When the switch is in the off state, the current is 0. So current 0 means what? The point is either lie on the plus V or the minus V. Okay, so here the static operating points on VI plane for the unipolar switch either here or here. Are you getting the point? What this indicates? What it indicates? Corresponding to this point, the voltage is non-zero. Okay, but current is 0. The meaning is voltage is non-zero and current is 0. The meaning is yes, the switch is blocking the forward voltage, and switch is in the off state, right? And here voltage is non-zero but it is negative. Okay, and current is 0. The meaning is switch is blocking the reverse voltage. Okay, so static operating points on VI plane either this one or this one. Are you getting the point? Okay, so let's move towards the next type, that is a bipolar switch. Okay, the switch is said to be bipolar. If it blocks forward as well as reverse voltage when it is in the off state, right? Means here the importantly we need to concentrate on the off state of the switch, right? And the switch is able to block the forward as well as reverse voltage, then the switch is known as the bipolar switch, right? So according to the definition, if we draw the operating points on VI plane for the bipolar switch, right? Yes, this is the V, that is the voltage axis, this is the current axis, right? Now here, as this type of the switch, we need to concentrate on the off state, right? So corresponding to the off state, what is the current? Current is 0, right? So definitely the point should lie on the V axis, right? That is a voltage axis. Okay, so here the switch is blocking the forward as well as reverse voltage. Switch is blocking the forward as well as reverse voltage, right? So what is the coordinates corresponding to this point? Yes, here the voltage V is the non-zero, that is the voltage is non-zero but current is zero. Current is zero means the switch is in the off state. Voltage is non-zero means the switch is blocking the forward voltage, right? But voltage is positive, right? So switch is blocking the forward voltage. Corresponding to this point, the voltage is negative and current is zero, right? Voltage is negative and current is zero means again the switch is in the off state and the switch is blocking the reverse voltage, negative voltage, that is the reverse voltage. Are you getting the point? Okay, so here switch is blocking the forward voltage, switch is blocking the reverse voltage, right? So these are the operating points on the VI plane, operating points on the VI plane for the bipolar switch, for the bipolar switch. Next, now we are going to move towards the next classification. Yes, that is classification based on third type, classification based on direction of current through switch, during on state, okay? So here importantly we need to concentrate on the on state. Yes, the switch is in the on state. And according to the direction of the current flowing through the switch, right? We are having two types. In that, first one is unidirectional switch, and second one is bidirectional switch, right? So first let us discuss the unidirectional switch, right? So the switch is said to be unidirectional. If during its on state, the switch allows only the forward current or the reverse current. The switch allows only forward current or reverse current during its on state. Then the switch is known as unidirectional switch. So how will be the location of the operating points? Yes, location of the operating points on VI plane. Yes, unidirectional means the switch, first of all the switch is in the on state means voltage should be zero, right? Voltage is zero means the operating point should lie either on the plus I or the minus I, right? So operating point will be either here, or we can write the operating point will be lying on the negative axis. Yes, either here or here, right? The operating point is lying either here or here, right? Are you getting the point? Okay, so these are the operating points for the unidirectional switch. Switch is allowing only positive current or negative current, or it is also known as a forward current or reverse current, right? After this, let us discuss the second type, right? Based on this configuration, okay, the bidirectional switch. Second one is a bidirectional switch. In the bidirectional switch, yes, during the on state, if the switch allows forward current as well as reverse current, right? Bidirectional switch. Okay, the switch allows the current either in forward direction or in reverse direction. Then the switch is known as it is a bidirectional switch, right? So what is the operating state, on state or off state? Yes, it is a on state only, right? So on state means what is the voltage? Voltage should be 0. Current is non-zero, right? So voltage should be 0. Current is non-zero. So current is either forward as well as reverse. Current is forward as well as reverse. Then it is known as the bidirectional switch. Corresponding to this point, what is the current? Current is non-zero. What is the voltage? Voltage is 0. Voltage is 0 means switch is in the on state, right? So switch is allowing the positive current. Also the switch is allowing the negative current also, right? So that's why it is a bidirectional switch. Bidirectional switch characteristics. Okay, so this is about the classification of the switches, right? Now let us discuss some examples, right? They have asked based on the classification of the switches. And one more term we are going to discuss, that is safer operating area, SOA. SOA, that is a safer operating area, okay, for the particular type of the switch, right? For the particular type of the switch, right? So let us first discuss. Suppose we are having a question like find type of the switch. Type of switch. Okay, type of the switch, right? So if this is the question, our task is to find the type of the switch. And suppose if they have given the operating points on the VI plane, operating points on the VI plane. Okay, suppose the operating points are like this, right? So if the operating points are like this, what is the type of the switch? Yes, the type of the switch is yes, switch is here corresponding to this point. The current is 0. Current 0 means switch is in the off state, right? And voltage is positive, means switch is blocking the positive voltage during the off state, right? But during the off state, whether the switch is blocking the negative voltage? No. So it is a unipolar or bipolar? It is a unipolar. Okay. Similarly, corresponding to this point, what is the current? Current is non-zero. What is the voltage? It is a 0. Voltage is 0 means switch is in the on state, right? Voltage is 0 means switch is in the on state. So switch is in the on state, and current allowed by the switch is only forward current. Here reverse current is not allowed, right? So here switch is allowing only forward current during the on state. Switch is blocking only forward voltage during the off state. So type is, it is a unipolar unidirectional switch, right? It is a unipolar and unidirectional switch. Unipolar and unidirectional switch. Unipolar and unidirectional switch, right? Unipolar and unidirectional switch. Now, suppose if we want to draw the SOA, that is a safer operating area for this switch, yes, the safer operating area will be, yes, safer operating area means the operating area, right, of the switch. These are the operating points, okay. So means this switch is allowing the forward voltage as well as the forward current. So safer operating area will be like this. This is a safer operating area, that is SOA, safer operating area for this switch. Safer operating area for this switch. Are you getting the point, right? So similarly, suppose let us discuss one more example. Suppose we are having the same question. And now they have given the operating point location. As shown in figure. Right? So second question, same question. We are going to repeat. Find type of switch. Find type of switch. This is the voltage, current, and suppose the operating points are like this, right? These are the operating points. Okay, so yes, what is the type of the switch? Bipolar unidirectional, right? Bipolar and unidirectional. Bipolar and unidirectional switch. Bipolar and unidirectional switch, right? And can we draw the safer operating area? Yes. These are the operating points they have given. So from this, can we find the SOA, that is the safer operating area? Yes, this is the safer operating area, SOA, right? For the given switch, right? So similarly, they have asked some questions based on the type of the switches.